As Italy plays host to the summit, it has plenty of economic problems at home. For one, the country's economy hasn't grown since the second quarter of 2011. In fact, it was only able to crawl out of recession in its latest quarter by posting a 0% growth. And even that involved a bit of economic trickery. Under the new European rules, countries can now include illegal revenue, and that includes things like alcohol, drugs, and prostitution. Yes, sex, drugs, and a little, you get it. Looking ahead, the government is expecting its third straight year of recession this year and just 0.6% growth next year. Now, an Italian finance minister, Pier, Carlo, Padoan, took on the challenge of fixing Italy's economy in February of this year. Our very own Shraysi Tandon caught up with him to chat about the challenges to Italy's growth.
The biggest challenge Italy is facing is to draw on its very large resources and mobilize the resources, which means eliminating obstacles to growth in innovation and work.
Italy's economy has slipped into its third recession since 2008, unemployment hovering at around 12%, growth stagnant. How do you tell the Italian people that it is going to be okay?
By showing what the medium-term plan of the government is, which is a combination of structural reforms, growth-friendly budget policy, respect of discipline, and continuing to enjoy market confidence, which is strong. So we will get out of this crisis, we'll go back to growth, we will generate jobs, and this will take the medium term, 2 to 3 years. In 2 to 3 years, I'm confident Italy will be significantly changed.
The European Central Bank has been undertaking stimulus measures to try and boost growth. Italy is reliant on these measures to help and lift growth not only in Italy but across the Eurozone. How confident are you that these measures will work?
They will work better to the extent that the government does its share by facilitating new forms of financing by SMEs, which are the bulk of the economy, by introducing facilitations, deregulation of financial markets, simplifying ways to access non-bank credit by SMEs. This is what the government has already begun to do, and this is already showing some fruits.
Do you think that the Italian government is too reliant on the European Central Bank and these stimulus measures? In fact, recently, ECB President Mario Draghi says that the ECB can't help save Italy. What are your comments?
If I read Mario Draghi's statement correctly, he said what monetary policy can do is limited if countries do not introduce structural reforms. This is what we're doing. We will make a large benefit of monetary policy measures to the extent that we will accelerate our structural reform program.
There are a lot of officials and authorities in Germany that criticize these stimulus measures. They say that they pose as significant risks. Do you think that Italy's obstacle is in fact Germany at this stage?
I don't think Germany is an obstacle to Italy or to any country. I think the issue is to be united in a European growth strategy which benefits all countries. This is, by the way, what Italy in its capacity of presidency of the EU semester has put on the table. What Europe needs today is a coherent growth strategy.
But it seems to me that the Italians and the Germans in this situation don't necessarily see eye to eye.
Germany and Italy are in different positions, not only in space, but also in time. Germany introduced reforms in the labor market at the beginning of the previous decade when the macroeconomic stance was better, and now it is enjoying benefits of that. We have to follow through the same profile.
What can the IMF do to help Italy?
The IMF can help Italy and other European countries which are not in a program by continuing to provide good surveillance to understand even more the deep causes of the current difficulties and therefore to strengthen the case for a coordinated policy approach where all policy tools are used, structural, fiscal, monetary.
One last question. What role do you think China will play in Italy's future?
A role of providing not just capital, which is important, but also opening up new perspectives. China is a very dynamic economy, and there is a lot of potential in the Italian economy that can be helpful to support growth and vice versa.